So I just wanted to jump on today, pardon me, and talk a little bit about B vitamins and what that means to you on your journey for health and wellness, whether or not you're keto, low carb, or not, and what comes up in regards to that, and how we might know that if we're have perhaps a deficiency in B vitamins and what we can do. So I've got some notes. We'll just run through. My name's Vanessa. I'm the founder of Keto Buddies. I'm a health and weight loss accountability coach, and I've come to that through my own personal journey and struggles. So I now help other people to use, real food to address getting healthy, to lose weight, not losing weight to get healthy. I advocate for a keto or low carb approach as it buys a lot of us some time and reduces cravings. And while we're doing that, then we can move into the importance of changing our habits and our belief systems, which then makes your journey successful and sustainable. Okay, so moving on, talking B vitamins. What does this mean to us? Okay, so are you feeling tired? Are you having sometimes some vivid dreams out of nowhere if you weren't normally a vivid dream person? Are you nervous? Do you suffer from some anxiety? Okay, so these are some traits that can come up. So if we are feeling that we are suffering from fatigue, that we have these vivid dreams, sometimes I get the vivid dreams, sometimes on my journey as well, and nervousness. So these can be some signs that perhaps you may be a little bit deficient or lacking in some of the B vitamins. You can always go and have some blood work done with a functional medicine doctor or with your doctor in regards to nutritional deficiencies. But we can always try and do some addressing and a little bit of listening to our body and what that looks like, okay? So if you think that you are having some fatigue, or you're having vivid dreams, or you're nervous, we can start to address that with food. And looking at our B vitamins is a good way to do that. Okay, so generally speaking, if you're further into your keto journey and you're eating a balanced keto approach, so you've got red meat in there and you have some fish in there, if you're brave, unlike myself, you may have some organ meat, some game in there. You've got a balanced approach with your vegetables. Then if you're further along, then this kind of like deficiency probably isn't going to come up for you. But if you eat one way, or you are eating a lot of the same foods instead of variety, it could be coming up. If you're new to this lifestyle and you've been eating the standard kind of American or standard westernized diet, you have more packaged goods in there, you have some sugar, and you have higher processed carbs, then you could be nutritionally deficient in your B vitamins. And it will take time to balance that. So just kind of bringing that to your attention, and that if you are experiencing some fatigue, or you're nervous and some anxiety, you're having these vivid dreams, then we can look to see if part of that is a vitamin deficiency. Okay, so how you can address that is by eating a balanced approach, a balanced keto plate, building it out with lots of green leafy vegetables, your kale and your spinach. Asparagus is excellent, okay, for your B vitamins. Highly recommend asparagus for you. A mix of some dairy and some nuts and some seafood. Again, into your organ meats, if you can do that. I can't do organ meats. I'm like really not adventurous. But I do like pate. So pate is actually a great source of that if you get into the pate or a liverwurst, okay? So what happens with the B vitamins is it helps us to derive the energy from the food, okay? So we need everything to work in combination so that we can extract the energy from the food and that it gets absorbed. So another thing that B vitamins helps with is sometimes when we feel anxious or if we are pregnant, we have nausea. So it can help with that. So if anybody is pregnant in that first trimester when you're having nausea, you can increase your B vitamins. You can look at that in regards to that. One of the easiest ways to increase your B vitamins, beside building your healthy keto plate, is to look at whether or not you would like to take some nutritional yeast. So I actually was out of it. I think I have a client and she's vegetarian. And so we do a ketotarian approach for her. And so I gave her my nutritional yeast, because if you are coming from a plant-based diet, or whether you eat meat but not as frequently, then that's another way that you can be deficient, because we get a lot of our B vitamins from our protein sources, okay? From that red meat, especially from the organ meats. Yes, from dairy and nuts and from veggies like the asparagus that we talked about. But if you are plant-based, you are more likely to be deficient in your B vitamins, okay? So nutritional yeast is an excellent product that you can buy. You can get it just in the health food section of the grocery store. It's a flake. It looks like, Parmesan cheese, and it kind of tastes like Parmesan cheese. So it's super easy to either throw on top of your salads, to just put under your tongue and absorb, or you can put it into smoothies. So to give you an example, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast have 400% of your daily recommended B12s, okay? And it also has 5% of your dietary iron. So it's really packed with a punch, and it can help you start to absorb the energy from the foods that you need. It can help you manage any nausea. It can contribute to reducing nervousness and those vivid dreams, and help with fatigue. So many, like I think 25 years ago, when I was on a super crazy diet, I actually went into the clinic and had B vitamin shots 3 times a week, because it was to help with the extreme nature of that diet and deficiencies. And you weren't eating anything really, but obviously it was a doctor-run program, and it felt highly that these B vitamins were necessary to support you during your transition. So I always kind of remember that as well. And some people will say that B vitamins in general help with weight loss as well. Nothing unto itself helps with weight loss. We've got to get a whole lot of things right, and the hormones right, and your mind and your heart right. But it is definitely something to consider. Okay, so nutritional yeast, you can get it in the powder just at the grocery store, really inexpensive. Or you can go to a health food shop and get it in the form of a tablet. I'll probably prefer like the food portion, because it's quite easy to see, okay, I've got 1 tablespoon in my day, I've got 2 tablespoons in my day, versus using like a supplement one. That's me personally. You do whatever works well for you. But it's important to do anything in regards to your transition of diet in a healthy, sustainable manner. And that, yes, sometimes we get busy and we go to, it's still food that's on my list, and you may repeat it and you may still lose weight. But it's not a really long-term sustainable way to eat if you're always eating the same things all the time, because then you are going to be, lacking in some vitamins and minerals that come from a variety of foods, okay? So I really advocate and teach a very healthy keto approach, and I use the keto approach and low carb to address the hormones, the really resistant hormones, the insulin resistance in our bodies. Once we become a certain age, or whether we're metabolically challenged, these hormones come into play. So it's really self-defeating for a lot of women to try and lose weight, to be going to the gym, to be eating hardly anything, to be doing your normal calorie restriction, and nothing is happening. If that's you and that sounds familiar, then that is, a way to identify that you need some additional help. You need to start thinking outside the box. And, the traditional diet industry advice is no longer going to work for you. Okay. So taking a sustainable approach is important. And so I use keto and low carb, but I do not, advocate for a super dirty low carb, which people are out there doing. And even keto or low carb will fail you if you don't address your heart and your mind. So everything here is a holistic approach. As I said, I coach people who are vegetarian as well. And I can use all different kinds of eating protocols to get you to where you need to go, as long as we're addressing the underlying root challenges that you experience, whether those are hormonal or, other deficiencies. So always looking at what your body is telling you. And sometimes that's really difficult at the beginning to understand what the cues are that our bodies are telling us. But I can help walk you through that so that you can start to identify. It's not until we get in tune and we get a clean slate that it becomes easier to listen to your body. At the moment, it may not even stand out to you if you're having vivid dreams, right? Because your sleeps could be so interrupted. You don't know. Sometimes if you eat sugar or a heavy meal at night, that also brings up different sleep issues. So there's all sorts of things that happen. Getting you a clean slate is really important. And these are kind of like guidelines to start to trigger you to think about what your body might be telling you. So if you are experiencing some fatigue, if you have vivid dreams, or if you are often nervous, look at your B vitamins. Super easy and inexpensive. Pick up a bag of nutritional yeast. Start to do 2 tablespoons a day in your diet. You can put it on a salad. You could drop it into a smoothie. You can put it under your tongue. It's just kind of like a salty cheese, honestly. And it's not painful to take and not painful to adapt into your lifestyle. And it's not going to hurt you. Okay. So you can take it for a while. With supplements in general, on a keto lifestyle, if it's healthy, you don't need a lot of supplementation. We talk about pink salt, Himalayan quality pink salt. We talk about magnesium and apple cider vinegar. Those are the core things that I recommend. I don't sell any supplements. And when you become balanced, so initially, somebody may need something else. They may need bile salts or something like this if you're not used to when you're increasing the fat. But they're temporary, most of these things, right? They're to help you within an adaptation phase. But once you get your food right and your body starts absorbing the nutrients that it needs, then you wouldn't need to long-term take nutritional yeast, for example. Okay, so keep it in mind, something to think about. If you want to just pop into the grocery store, get some nutritional yeast, try it out. It's a really low investment point for you in regards to it. If you're feeling fatigued, it may actually help you out. Okay, so if you have any questions, drop them below. I'm happy to answer them. If you're shy, you are most welcome to message me. Look forward to helping you at any point in your journey. Thanks very much. Bye.